So hey everybody, it's Kim from Carolina Sewing Back. Today I'd like to share 3 great little Easter treat bags with you. I have my jelly bean bunny. I think this one's just adorable. This one will have your pattern so that you can actually scan it. For those of you who do embroidery, you can scan this one in the hoop and sew it out if you'd like. Or you can just cut a regular pattern like we're going to do today, and we're just going to stitch around that one. So our first little project's our bunny jelly bean bag, and then we've got this sweet carrot bag, and you can fill this with treats, and it has a drawstring in it, and you can see how nice that shape comes out. So easy to sew that, so I can't wait to share that with you. And then the bunny bag, and this one we've been doing this for many years, and I just want to share it with you again because it's great. You can do this one in so many different sizes. This is great to increase the size of the pattern to make these as large as you want, but they're just a simple little bag to sew with 2 coordinating fabrics. You just tie up the ears and it holds your treats so nicely inside there. Okay, so let's get started today. First, let's do the jelly bean bag. And the jelly bean bag, what you're going to do is you'll take the pattern and you'll trace that pattern onto your fabric, and that's what I've done here. You're just going to trace your pattern onto the fabric, and you'll leave yourself an opening. And rather than cut this out, what we do then is once we have traced the pattern onto the fabric, we're going to stitch all the way around. Just use that design as the stitch line and back tack at the beginning and then the end, and that's going to be where you're going to leave your opening for your jelly beans to go in. And then when you pull his ears and put a ribbon around it, that's what closes up the jelly bean bag for you. Okay, so as you can see, we'll just trace this on and then we would sew, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one and flip it so you'll see how that works. So we're going to just flip this around. I'm going to cut in on these because I want to leave some extra right here. And I want to cut about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And if you clip your curves here, then it will sew. It will turn better, get a smoother curve, but you don't have to. These are just really quick little treat bags, so the kiddies will love them, and they're probably not going to look at your curves that closely. I'm using a pair of Karen K Buckleys today because they do cause less raveling on your fabric. So just clip this all the way around. Now remember, I said I was going to leave an open, here at the opening I leave a bigger space, and I leave a nice big space, like about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. And then you can just take this and finger press it before you turn it, is usually what I do. And I have got an iron right here. I think I'm just going to press that quickly. And you can see how nicely, once you've pressed that, that just behaves really well, so that when you turn this, once you turn it right side out, you'll want to get a little stiletto or something in here and really get these ears poofed out nicely and all that. But once it turns, this is what you're going to have. Isn't that sweet? And you've had this secret little pocket on the side here so you can fill it with your jelly beans, and then tie 1 ribbon, you know, just like 6 or 7 inch ribbon piece right around the ears, and it closes it right up, and that one's done. Just that simple. Isn't that sweet? So do a lot of these and put your jelly beans in there. Now the carrot's done a little bit differently, and the carrot, what we do is we start out with 2 6-inch green squares and 2 7-inch by 6-inch orange squares. Let me grab that. So this one is 6 by 6, and we're going to need 2 of those, and then we're going to need 2 pieces that are 6 by 7, and you want your 7 to be in your height right here. So 7 inches tall by 6 inches wide. And then with those 2 pieces, I take the orange here, your carrot body, and I fold it right sides together here like this. And what you're going to do is measure down about 1 inch from this space, and then go down to the point here to give us our carrot shape. And so you'll just take your rotary cutter and your ruler and just give me a line across there and cut. And then once you've done that, this is what you'll have. So your shapes will look like this, okay? So you'll have 2 carrot bottoms and 2 carrot tops. I'm not sure where the other piece of my top is. I've got to find that before we sew. So there's my 2 tops. And like I said, that's just folded right in half. Now let's get started on our sewing. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just going to take and we're going to line up these edges here, and we're going to stitch these with our regular straight stitch foot about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. I mean, your regular universal foot is fine. So we're going to take this one and do the same thing here. And so this is what we've got. And now we're going to just take these and place these right sides together, just like this. And we're going to stitch all the way around, but we're going to leave an opening at our top here. So I'm going to just start on one edge. So again, use about 1/4 of an inch, or the edge of your foot as a guide, or 1/4 of an inch seam allowance here will be fine. And we're just going to follow the edge of our shape. When you get to that little point right there, I want you to pivot and turn for me and just follow the natural line of your fabric, your pattern that we've already cut out. This project's so small, I didn't even put any pins in, but if you're a pinner, certainly make sure you put those pins in. I try to peep in here and just make sure that my edges, my green and my green are lined up, and my orange are lined up, and they are. Pivot and turn on that again. And now we're going to come right up to the top here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this top edge down. So we're going to come and bring this down just a bit. Now, if you're a serge girl, you can easily take this to the serger right here and do it right on the serger as well. So let's get this to turn just so that we come across the bottom so we can make a little casing for our carrot. Now, what I like to do is just bring it just down to my previous stitch line, or bring it down to the edge of your green, just like this. Once it's there, I'm probably going to put an iron to it, and that will just make it behave a little bit better. So let's do that. Just iron that just a bit, and now you can see what we have here. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to run in 2 rows of stitches right on the inside here, just to give ourselves a little casing inside there. Now this is so small, I don't think I can get it around my free arm. So what I'll have to do is I'll just have to kind of put it in here and peek as I sew. And I know you can't see me do that, but you'll be able to do that at home on yours. There's no need to back tack. What I usually do is sew this stitch and then stitch back over it as I join it and meet it on the other side. And this is super easy to do, to get right down in here. It does not fight with you or anything. Now I've approached that area that I started, so I'm going to sew back over that just a bit. And now what I'm going to leave, I'm going to go ahead and run my second row of stitching. I'm going to use the edge of my foot as a guide, and I'm going to put my needle all the way in the right hand position, and then I'll get a nice enough gap that I can run my ribbon through, along with a bodkin or a safety pin or whatever, to get my ribbon through there. So here we go, just a regular straight stitch. I'm using the left edge of my foot against the previous stitch line at this time. These stitch up really quickly, and now I've met that line already. Now once you have this together like this, we're just ready to turn your bag right side out and clip it right down here, turn it right side out, and let me show you what I've got. I have 2 rows of stitching, so you can see this little casing that you have there. Now what you do to get your ribbon in here, the trick is we're going to just come in the side, and we're going to take our seam ripper. We're just going to slide our seam ripper down inside this seam, and we're going to split the one here on the right See there? And the one on the left. So we're going to flip over to this side and we're going to open up both of those. And then you can get your bodkin in there and run your ribbon around, and then you're done with this bag, because once you've got your ribbon in there, it's all finished. See how these are, this is the one that doesn't have the ribbon in yet, so you'll go ahead and put the ribbon in, and then once you've got your ribbon in there, that's how you get your nice shape. Isn't that cute? It's really simple and easy. Nice little carrot bag. Now our last one is our bunny bag, so let me show you how to do that. You'll need 2 coordinating fabrics. I'm using a dot and a stripe today, both in pink and white. And this is the way our bag kind of looks. Like I said, now this is a great pattern that you can actually increase if you would like to make a bigger bag, because these are really, really cute. I've seen them done out of wool. I've seen them done out of chenille, terry cloth, and tie those ears up, and it just looks so cute. I've seen people embroider faces on here, or draw faces, embroider a message, do hand embroidery. There are just so many different things you can embroider. This is a great little space that, you know, you can put He Is Risen on here with a cross, or an actual little bunny face, or Happy Easter, or just anything you'd like. This is an awesome space for you to have some embroidery room on there. So the way this gets together is we're going to have 2 of our dot, okay, and 2 of our stripe. And so we're going to go ahead, and when we sew these, we're going to place our right sides together. And like I said, if you're a pin girl, you go ahead and put you some pins in there. And I'm just going to use the edge of my foot as a guide. And I'll start stitching my little bag up here. And I'm going to come all the way down across the bottom. There's no miter in this. And then straight up to the top here. And you probably want to back tack just a little bit at the beginning and at the end. And let's go ahead and do that. Tack that in. Now I already have my stripe sewn. So what I'm going to do to put this little thing together is I'm going to go ahead and place these right sides together like so. Now I am going to pin on this, because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to be really careful as we stitch this to make sure that every little edge, every little curve lays just like we want it to. Now you're going to need an opening to turn this, and so you need to leave that on the first bag or the second bag, and I'm going to be honest, I totally forgot. So if that ever happens, I'm going to just take my seam ripper and I'm going to go right in the bottom here, and I'm going to rip out about 2 inches of stitching, and I'll show you in just a moment how we do that. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this beneath my foot and all the way around the little ears. These ears are sweet. I've met up to where I was before, and so I'm going to go ahead and let's tie that off. And remember, I told you need to leave yourself for opening or go back and just take the seam ripper. And I'm going to use the dot. I'm going to use the lining as my lines, my stripes. And so I'm just going to come in here with my seam ripper, and I'm going to pull out about 2 inches because nobody's going to see inside here anyway. So I want to leave a nice generous opening so that it's easy for me to turn. So we're going to pull that right through. It takes a little time to play with these ears to get them wiggled out, but they are fun to do. So take the time and enjoy. We'll do the same on this one. So wrestle with those. When you get these turned out, go ahead and put the iron to that and press it out a little bit, because I like to give a little top stitching to that edge, so that with the edge stitching foot, I like to just stitch right around the edge of this entire bag on the opening top. And then to finish this is just fill it up with some goodies and knot it up, and you have got a great little bunny bag. And so I hope you enjoyed these 3 great bags today, and you'll join with me again sometime as we stitch up some more Easter fun. So these 3 great bags are brought to you today by Carolina Sewing Back, and it's Kim at Carolina Sewing Back, and thanks for watching.